Good morning, guys. Welcome to a whole different season of Food to Soothe. Here, we're going to discuss about nth number of things, about things that we consider to be waste and we throw off, like peels and stems of vegetables, and a number of dishes that really supports the diet of people like me who have plant-based diet. So a lot of options, alternatives, and the main motive is let us waste nothing. So today we are going to make a chutney or a side paste or an add-on, which is basically made from one vegetable which I believe everyone loves: cauliflower. This is the portion that we all consume, but these, the tentacles and the leaves, which I have torn apart, really go to the waste, or it goes to the compost bin for mindful people. But what if we can make something with them? So let us make cauliflower leaves chutney. What do we need for this? First thing, come on, let me show you. The first thing that we need is cauliflower leaves roughly chopped. It doesn't have to be fine because it's going to go to the blender anyway. The next thing that we need is lots and lots of garlic. We need a lot of garlic. And I personally love the flavor of garlic. We need lemon juice. I have 1 lemon out here. I have 4 green chilies because in my family we love the taste a little tilted towards spicy. We have, of course, salt. And I add just 1 teaspoon of vinegar to increase the shelf life of any sort of chutneys that I make. After the chutney, what do? We have to temper it. Tempering is important. So for tempering, we need our age-old mustard oil because I don't think anything beats mustard oil when it comes to tempering of chutney. Cooking and tempering instead of just drizzling over something. When you have to cook the paste, I think mustard oil is really, really good. And apart from that, we have 2 other things. We have jeera, which is cumin seeds, and we have ajwain, which is carom seeds. So that's it. Just a handful of ingredients. And now let the magic happen. We are going to put all the leaves in a blender. Now what I like to do basically is I like to blend the leaves once just to decrease the space that it consumes so that later I can add all the other ingredients. There you go. What I wanted to show out here is, if you try to blend it just like that, it is not going to work out. Basically, either because the quantity is too big or maybe the blender is not high powered. So we are going to add a little water. Now the fun part about this chutney is, even if it is watery, it's fine because you're going to cook it and then you can evaporate all the water. So we have the water. And we are going to blend. So now the space inside the jar is really, really less. So I am going to add everything else. The garlic, the green chilies. Do not forget to wash your hands after you touch green chilies, especially girls, if you are on your periods and if you're using menstrual cups, please do not forget to wash your hands. I'm going to squeeze the lemon juice in. Do not throw this. I'm going to show what amazing things you can actually make. This. I'm just going to put one on top of the other. Ah, yes, see. There's always some extra. Then salt as per taste. Amit, the co-founder, always says that I put extra salt, so I'm going to put less salt. And just few drops of vinegar, because if you add vinegar you can actually keep this in the freezer for around 15 days. So you make a big batch and you're good to go. Add a little water if you find it necessary. And blend away. You can stop the video here. Okay, so now that you have your paste, it looks something like this. It's a nice smooth paste. I have already put my induction stove and my wok, and I have around 2 tablespoons of mustard oil as discussed before. It is heating, as you can see that yeah, there is gas coming up. So I'm going to put the 2 tempering elements, the cumin seed and the carom seed, and it's going to splutter. Now once that happens, I want to cook this in high flame for around 2 to 3 minutes, just so that all the flavors combine. And then I am going to reduce the flame if you're using a gas stove, or reduce the voltage if you're using an induction stove, and let the leaves cook. Otherwise it's going to have a very leafy smell to it. In goes, oh yes, and it is going to have its own disco dance and splatter everywhere. So this is in the highest voltage, that's 1800. And yeah, this is going to be a good quantity. We are a family of 6 at this moment, so it's going to be a good quantity for 6 people. And I think we'll have some reserve, but because we added vinegar, not an issue. So I'm going to let this cook. In high voltage for a while, and then I am going to cover it and have a low to medium flame and cook it for 5 minutes more. Just make it a point that you let the water evaporate, because the drier the chutney is, the tastier it is going to be, because all the ingredients will be well combined with one another. And if you are using a non-stick pan, great. If you're not using one, it works perfectly fine, but just make it a point that you do swaddle it once a while so that it doesn't touch the base. But if you're not using a non-stick pan, I'd suggest use any other steel or normal wok which is heavy bottomed. So you will see that the oil is separating on the side. That's when you know that the tempering elements have released their flavors. And it is time to cover it, reduce the flame, and cook it for around 5 to 10 minutes. And at the end of the video, you're going to see the end product of this amazing flavorful chutney. You can have it with boiled rice, you can have it with dosa, you can also have it with any sort of bread. That could be paratha, that could be pita, it could also be the normal sandwich breads that we have. It's a great spread for any sort of spicy sandwich that you want to have. And you can also have it with chaat. It tastes amazing. Dhania pudina chutney is very famous when it comes to any sort of chaat, but even this one goes very well. It's cooked, it has oil. And one last tip, if you want this to sustain a little longer, once you're done cooking the chutney, just pour around 1 tablespoon of mustard oil on top of it, raw mustard oil. It gives a very pungent flavor to it. I personally love it, but it's optional. You can try it out, or you can have 2 separate batches, one with the mustard oil and one without the one. So the basic point is, you don't have to throw anything. If you can consume it, and if you can consume it well and tasty, why throw it at all? One option is composting, works perfectly fine, but if you don't want to compost, you can basically use everything that comes off a vegetable. So stay tuned. If you have more ideas, please comment in the comment section, and if you have any suggestion, please feel free to voice it out. So take care, lots of love, and thank you for all the support.